Okay, let's just dive right into this. We've all been there, right? You get that quiet, kind of uncomfortable feeling about money where you think you're doing okay, but you're just not totally sure if you're on track. Well, we're going to cut through all that noise, look at the real numbers, and uncover the simple, almost hidden math that separates the people who build wealth from those who just don't. I want you to picture this. You're out to dinner with some old friends, and eventually the conversation turns to money. Someone's talking about maxing out their Roth IRA. Another person is getting close to their number. And you just smile and nod. But that little calculator in your head is spinning like crazy, and it feels like everyone else got a different map to life than you did. But here's the secret from that dinner table. The gap between people who are building real wealth and those who aren't, it's rarely about how much money they make. Nope. It's about a handful of silent decisions that just stack up year after year. It really is all about the math. And I promise, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So what's the first thing we all do when we feel that way? We Google it, of course. We ask the internet for that one magic number, the number that's supposed to tell us if we're winning or losing. But the number it spits back? Well, for most of us, it's dangerously misleading.
This is the number you'll see splashed all over the place. $1,063,700. So let me be perfectly clear about this. For your actual life, for my actual life, that number is completely and totally meaningless. It's a fantasy.
So why is that number so wrong? It's because it's the mean average, which gets wildly distorted by the billionaires and mega millionaires at the very top. The number you actually want to look at is the median. That's the person standing in the exact middle of the line if you lined up everyone in America from poorest to richest. And that number, it tells a very different story.
Think about it this way. If you get into an elevator with Elon Musk, the average net worth inside that elevator is suddenly, billions of dollars. But did your bank account change at all? Nope, you haven't gotten any richer. You just became a rounding error. That's exactly what the mean average does. It turns most of us into rounding errors.
Okay, so here's the real number, the one that actually matters. $192,700. This is the median. This is the actual benchmark for a household smack dab in the middle of America. This is our real starting point.
So, how does this number change as we get older? Now we can finally break down the real benchmarks by age, and we're using the gold standard data here straight from the Federal Reserve.
So for Americans under the age of 35, the median net worth is $39,000. And remember, that includes everything you own. Your car, any savings, any home equity, minus everything you owe, like student loans and credit card debt, the whole shebang.
Let's put a face to that number. Meet Derek. He's 34, he's got a decent job in IT, and he has a little bit saved up. He keeps meaning to invest it, but, life just keeps getting in the way. Derek isn't failing, not at all. Derek is the median. He is the statistical middle of the country. Now let's look at the 35 to 44 age group. The median jumps up to about $135,000. But this is where the gap really starts to open up. A common goal from a place like Fidelity says you should have about 3 times your salary saved by age 40. While for a typical household, that's over $300,000. The median household isn't even halfway there. Moving up to ages 45 to 54, the median is just under $250,000. Now these are supposed to be your peak earning years, but for most people, any extra money from raises and promotions just kind of gets absorbed by a bigger life, a bigger house, a nicer car.
And here, in the final stretch before retirement, from 55 to 64, the median hits about $320,000. This is where the math gets genuinely scary. Fidelity says you should have 8 times your salary saved. That means the median person is staring at a shortfall of $300,000 or more. Okay, if these numbers are making you anxious, just listen closely for a second. You are not failing a fair test. You are losing a rigged game. The entire system around us is designed to find any extra money you make, your margin, and consume it.
So how does it do that? It does it through 3 incredibly powerful defaults that are designed to keep you running in place. You've got the car trap, lifestyle inflation, and the housing squeeze. They all work together to eat up your money before you can invest it. Let's start with the most obvious one, the car trap.
Okay, so the car trap. The average new car payment right now is about $748 a month. And the dealership makes this feel completely normal, totally manageable by just stretching the loan out over, 7 years?
But what if? What if you took that same payment and instead of handing it over to a car company, you gave it to your future self? What does that one seemingly small decision turn into over 30 years of just steady, boring investing?
Almost $1.7 million. That's what this is. People are unknowingly trading a literal fortune in retirement wealth for heated seats and a backup camera. That is the devastating, hidden cost of the car trap.
So how on earth do you win a rigged game? You have to understand the basic physics of wealth. It's not about being some kind of financial genius. It's just about understanding a few core principles that let you sidestep all the traps.
I like to use a simple mental model for this, the 7-5-3-1 rule. So, 7. It takes about 7 years of consistent investing for the magic of compounding to actually feel real. You have to be patient. 5. You need to own at least 5 different types of assets to be truly diversified. 3. Expect to go through 3 emotional phases on this journey: doubt, frustration, and sheer panic. Knowing they're coming is half the battle. And 1, this is the most important one, a tiny 1% annual increase in your savings rate can nearly double what you end up with. That's the physics.
Okay, now we get to the good part, the fix. The people who end up being okay financially, they don't do anything heroic. They just make a conscious decision to opt out of the defaults that keep everybody else broke.
And here's your action plan. First, automate everything. Make saving your new default, not a choice you have to make every month. Second, invest the raise. Before your brain even knows that extra money exists, send it straight to your 401k. And third, just buy boring index funds. Stop trying to be clever. The market will do all the heavy lifting for you.
And please remember, the real goal here isn't some specific number in a spreadsheet. Wealth is options. It's the freedom to say no to a job you absolutely hate or to say yes to an opportunity you love. It's having control over your own time and your own life.
So here's the bottom line. Your financial story, the one that becomes your reality when you're 65, it's being written by the small, seemingly invisible decisions you are making right now. You've seen the real numbers. You know where the traps are. So the only question is, what will your story be?